Good morning, everybody. My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Not that kind of yoga. This is morning energy. This is the class that I designed to get you up and going first thing in the morning. We're gonna just take an easy warm up, kind of a brief, not a brief, a mild energy flow with a cool down, and hopefully get your blood pumping and your oxygen going for the rest of the day. Happy Monday. All right. My name is Julia, if I haven't said that, and we are going to get started. So we start in comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. It could be one leg in, one leg out. This one happens to work for me. We're just going to take a moment to pull our attention and awareness from the external to the internal. We want to take a scan of the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form. What did we do this weekend that might be playing out in our body? How did we sleep last night? We might be feeling some response from that. We're just going to take that scan and check in with where we are already feeling a little ache, a little hitch, a little, something. We're going to move that attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking and check in. Maybe we're not awake yet. I know I've been struggling this morning. Maybe we woke up and our to-do list is already chugging along at full speed. We want to move those things off to the side, tap the brakes a little bit, create a nice, clear, open field of thought so that we can spend our time only on our mat. And now let's move that silence into the attention of our natural and intuitive breath. The breath we just breathe automatically without exerting any control. Traditionally, we breathe into and out of the nose in yoga, but if that's really uncomfortable for you, you might be having allergies or some sinus issues, just find a way to breathe and notice that breath. And now let's invite that breath to get a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. We want to match the length of inhale to the length of exhale and create a rhythm that we will try to maintain throughout the practice. Wherever you are in the balance of that breath, let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. We're going to reach down toward the mat with that exhale. Let's add a sweep of the arms toward the ceiling. Nice big reach with the inhale. It might turn into a yawn. It is that kind of a overcast sort of day. I'm not complaining. That means it might not be 100 degrees today. We're going to come on up through that reach on the third round. And then we're going to take a lateral extension. Let's take our reach up And then let's release the hand down to the right, reach a little longer up towards the left, and then, oh, take that stretch over to the side, big lateral extension. Imagine reaching up to touch the corner where the ceiling meets the wall. That'll give you some more length rather than collapsing over the waistband. Reaching on up and taking the other arm down, nice big stretch. And let's do that 2 more times in both directions. One more time in both directions. We're going to come up through center and take our first forward fold, tracing the fingertips down. Let's tuck the chin, rolling the shoulders. We're going to rest the body weight on the elbows. So maybe you're going to tuck onto the knees or the calves, maybe the feet. If you have a block, this is a perfect time to use it. Or maybe the floor. Wiggle the toes, relax the feet, unclench the teeth, tuck the chin against the chest at the bottom of that fold. With the next inhale, let's lengthen through the arms, walking the hands back. We're going to stretch up toward the ceiling, releasing out with our palms up, shrug the shoulders, soften the elbows. Let's take those thumbs back a little bit behind the body, bow the chin forward. And let's release fingertips towards the floor. I'm going to tuck hands at my hips, palms facing backwards. And we're going to take some head circles, little semicircles bowing forward to keep the crunch out of our necks, the cervical spine. So let's just take a tilt of one ear over to one side. And then we're going to release down to center and take the ear over to the other side. So we're just working through these semicircles. Sometimes we hold here and take that stretch, but in the morning, we want to get things moving. Maybe working through a little crackle and crunch, little air in between the spaces of our vertebra. Big hang here. Now let's hold to that first side. 3 deep breaths. Slowly release forward, and we're going to switch the lean, taking that 3 breath stay over to the other side. Releasing chin forward, let's trace those fingertips around to the front of the body and slowly stack that cervical spine. If you happen to be sitting cross-legged, we're going to change the cross of the legs. Taking a little rock side to side to balance ourselves out. And let's start again with another inhale. So let's reach on up and take that stretch. We're going to take a big wide open circle here. So just nice, lovely reach back, keeping the palms up as far as we can, and then turning them forward to the floor. Now try to touch the backs of the hands together. Coming on up, soften those elbows for me, relax the shoulders. And now again, turn the palms up, reach back, letting the fingertips drip down towards the mat. And as far as you can keep those hands up, then let's just turn them forward and try to rotate the backs of the hands together. So we're softening through, that was not the right word. We're stretching and using the mobility of that shoulder girdle in two different directions. With this internal rotation, we're drawing the backs of the hands together. We want to work through this. Full mobility of the shoulder. Soften those elbows. One more big circle here. Little tuck of the chin to relax through the strap muscles around to the collarbone. And now let's open those arms up just like we would if we were going to release all the way to the mat. Tuck the chin a little bit. And now I want you to sweep the arms back just a little bit more. We're going to hang here for a second. Feeling that energy through the shoulders. Let's release on down. I'm going to tuck my hands a little closer together. So just rest them right up next to that glute. Relax the shoulders, bowing chin forward. Let's take our semicircles. So we're just going to slowly tilt one ear over and then bow chin forward and take that trace of the collarbone as we tilt the ear to the other side. So just forward semicircles. Keeping all of that crunch out of the cervical spine. If we look up as we move, we are compressing the phalanges, the vertebral phalanges. That's a mouthful to say first thing this morning. And then you're crunching against those. You're scraping them together. Doesn't even sound good the way I said it, but it's not good. So let's take one more tilt. Releasing chin forward, we're going to trace those fingers back around the body and slowly stack cervical spine. So we're going to unwind. I'm going to take my left leg out and I am going to just take it at a nice easy angle. So about, I don't know what this is. It's just to the inside of the corner of my mat. There we go. I can't angle first thing in the morning. My right leg is going to be at a wide angle. I don't need my heel tucked way up into my pubic bone. We're just going to take a little rotation through the back of the leg, right through the hamstring. So let's come on up through this stretch. We're going to do two things. So we're going to open up toward the knee and then take a little lean out over that foot. Feel that right up the obliques and out the back of the hamstring. Come on up, big stretch to center. And now we're going to take our hands forward and turn toward that leg. So turn toward the leg and reach out. Draw on back. Let's inhale, stretch to the ceiling. We're going to do that 2 more times. So we're just turning the body toward the knee, rock out over that toe. Coming on up. I'm just touching my fingertips together. Bring the arms down to center. Turn toward the leg and reach out over that hamstring. Let's do that one more time. Reach on up. Big open out. Turn and lean. Coming on up one more time. Let's come on up. We're going to come to a forward fold here. So I am going to find my block, but you can certainly just rest your elbows on the knees or the calves. I'm coming straight forward. I want to work this body square to the hips. And I'm going to feel that right up the outside edge of that hamstring. Tuck the toes or wiggle the toes of the forward foot. Tuck the chin. Unclench the teeth. And then let's slowly inhale through those arms, walk. Well, that was a terrible sentence. Inhale as we straighten the arms, walk the hands back. Let's take our stretch up. Big release out. All right, I'm gonna move my right foot to center. I gotta move my block. I'm gonna slide my left leg out in front of my body. So I want my left leg to be stacked right up in alignment with that hip. I don't want to be twisted toward the right. I still want to be square. I'm resting the inside of the foot just to the inside of my knee. It's a nice angle for me. I have gigantic thighs. We're going to come on up and just take the left arm back. So left leg is out, left arm's going to tuck. Let's take a little fold here. Just release down. Inhale up. Just nice, easy stretch. You don't have to reach those fingertips out toward the foot just yet. We're just taking this move through the low back. Little easy stretch through the forward rotation of the shoulder. That's the left shoulder. And then that stretch through the hamstring. We're inhaling as we extend up, keeping this shoulder open. So try to keep that space from the arm, from the bicep to the ear, and exhaling, engaging the core and using the power of our abdominal structure to carry the weight of the body. Really lift through the chest on this extension so that we get this stretch in through that interior rotation of the shoulder. One more time. Let's lengthen up. We're going to slowly unwind that arm, sweep it forward first, bring it up and out, and then take this big open stretching circle. All right, I'm going to help this knee up, and I'm going to take my legs forward. Rock a little bit, side to side, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. All right, we're going to move the right leg out to that first angle. So just aim it for the inside corner of your mat. I guess I'm giving you bad directions because I'm looking at my mat this way and you guys are probably facing me directly, but nice, easy angle on that. Open angle with the foot. Keep that heel out away from the pubic bone. And we're going to just take these slides and the twisting. So let's come on up through our stretch. Open those arms up, relax out of the shoulders, turn toward that knee and slide out toward, ooh, I'm feeling this in my low back. Obliques, glute medius. Big inhale up, bring those fingertips down together. Turn toward that leg and press out. Draw on up. Perfect example of how our bodies work through imbalance. I'm not feeling this in my hamstring at all. I'm feeling it through the obliques. Oh. Piriformis. Ooh. A little bit in my rhomboids, keeping my shoulders open like that. Just take it around. Drawing up. One more time. All right, we're going to come up through center and take our forward fold. It's a nice big reach up. Remember, squaring up the body to that forward position. I'm going to have to come down on this block a little bit, feeling that right through my lumbar structure, over the tops of my pelvic cradle. Oh. All right, let's inhale while we lengthen those arms, taking that walk back, sweeping up to center, Nice big, lovely open arm release, palms up. I'm gonna take that foot, my left leg out a little bit. I'm gonna slide that right leg straight forward. So remember, I'm keeping it in alignment with my hips. The inside of my foot is tucked right up against the inside of my knee. Let's take a nice, lovely stretch up. All right, remember we're tucking right arm back, so it's the same foot that's forward, tucking back, and then releasing down for this easy. Just let the body go. It doesn't have to be a big reach out over that leg. Just engage the core. Give me this lift up with the chest so that we can feel that stretch through that delt and the bicep. And remember to keep this left shoulder open, tucked down towards the ribs, and keep that bicep away from the ear. We want to hold that space because that helps us keep the length in those strap muscles in the neck. Keeps our chest open. You might even be feeling that all the way under the collarbone if you're very, very tight in the pecs. We're going to take 2 more of these. All right, as we come up, let's slowly unwind that bound arm, sweep it forward and out, big open space, open reach. All right, let's help this knee up, bring those legs forward, take a little rock side to side, wiggle toes, roll ankles. We're gonna move to hands and knees. I like to pad my knees with a blanket. I'm going to place 2 hands next to each other in that space. I'm going to rest my knees to either sides of my fists, keeping my hip 90 degrees stacked over my knee. The heels of the hands is what moves out. So rather than stacking it 90 degrees over your wrists, I'm going to ask you to move them out a half to a full palm's length. That takes pressure off of your wrists and lets you soften into these elbows, puts all that weight into the core and the back rather than resting on the joints. Slight engagement of the core here. Let's take a nice power inhale. We're going to release chin, rest forearms, and sweep those hips back for our Chakravarkasana bow. Open up those elbows, wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Inhaling forward. Releasing chin. Release, pressing those forearms to the mat, sweep those hips back. Wiggle fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Inhaling up. Let's do that one more time. I don't know about you, but my to-do list is trying to charge forward for the day. I'm trying to remind it that we have some time here. Let's push a hip out over to one side. Take that oxen lean. And as you do that, I want you to drop those hips closer and closer and closer to the heel so that we can drop the body toward the knee. Let's inhale forward, a little rock, sweep to the other side. Keep that weight on the hip. Draw back, 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 back. Try to keep the chin tucked here rather than trying to lift the head to look over the arm. Again, trying to keep the cervical spine in alignment with the thoracic spine. Lean into that hip. Oh, press that heel or the hip all the way back to that heel. One more time. Try to keep the weight in the hip even as we draw forward. So it feels like a big circle. Leaning out as we come forward. Ooh, last side. Drawing into center, let's take an angry cat tuck, tailbone, release the head, lean back into the heels a little. Inhale through, nice flat back. Let's stay out of the lumbar. Don't do this cat or this cow arch because that compresses the lumbar spine. We want to keep that all straight and long. Releasing for our Chakravakasana bow. Chin, elbows, hips. Wiggle those fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Coming on forward. So let's take one of those nice semicircles, oxen, to both sides. And in the other direction. Coming forward, give me an angry cat tuck. All right, we're going to tuck our toes and press to the soles or to the balls of the feet. So I'm lifting up. I'm going to step in just a little, and we're going to take runner stretch. So I'm behind my wrists still. Soften the elbows, shrugging those shoulders down. I'm just going to push down into one heel. And then I'm going to push down into the other one. Let's do that one more time in both directions. All right, I'm going to glance forward and walk myself all the way to the end of my mat. This is another great place if you have a block. If you don't, just soften the knees a little deeper than you normally would in a forward fold and just rest your hands on your shins or your thighs. Let the head release. Keep the weight a little bit forward into the balls of the feet. I'm going to bend my knees deeply now, sit the back with the hips, lift the head and shoulder. Let's trace right up the legs. Nice slow stretch. Ooh, big reach up into the ceiling. All right, let's turn our hands open. We're going to take those 3 big open arm circles that we did on the mat. So try to keep the palms open for as long as possible and then rotate the backs of the hands together. Keep those elbows soft, right? Oh, I don't want you to squeeze those biceps up to the ears. Just keep the arms loose. Keep that space wide. One more big rotational circle here. Okay, give me a little cactus squeeze. We're going to come on up, and now we're going to add that lateral extension again. So just take it over, nice easy press. Keep the hips stacked over the heels. And through the other side. We're going to come up to come down and take a forward folding chair. So sit back into the heels. Let's trace the hands down the legs. Rest that upper body over the lower body. Let the back, the shoulders, the arms, the head hang. Let's trace those fingers up. Give me a lift, head and shoulders. Scoop the belly, and let's slowly take that other stretch to the ceiling. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Let's take one of those big open arm circles. Spread the fingers this time. Really stretch through the hands. Tuck that chin. Press those hands a little bit back together. Keep the elbows soft. Let's go right into that cactus squeeze. So drop the shoulders and elbows back. Coming on up, we're going to take our lateral extension. Do me a favor, tuck the shoulder blade back to keep that arm away from the face, to keep that stretch right up through the lats. right up through the obliques, and let's switch. Coming on up to come down for our forward folding chair. Release it on over. All right, I'm going to trace my fingers right up my legs for a very light energy half lift. Roll those shoulders open, the chin is slightly tucked. Weights just a little forward into the balls of the feet. And let's slide on down for another forward fold. Keeping those knees bent, right, as deeply as you need. Maintaining contact with the legs, maybe the thighs, the calves, the ankles. I'm going to move to my block. Let's bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders, and slowly unwind. Big stretch up. All right, let's turn those palms up. Give me this nice big reach back, tuck the chin. Rotate the backs of the hands toward each other. Let's go right into that cactus squeeze. Coming on up, engage the core. We're going lateral extension. Wiggle those fingers for me. Roll the wrists. And let's switch sides. All right, we're going to tuck the right arm back. I want you to just touch the back of the hand to the tailbone. We're going to bend our knees, let the body go, sink back. We're going into our chair pose, but we're keeping that right arm tucked. The left arm is just relaxing toward the mat. Lift the head and shoulder. Now I'm in parallel. I'm taking a deep stretch through that shoulder and then press on up. Unwind that arm carefully and stretch to the ceiling. Big open arm circle. Tuck back, palms up. Rotate those hands toward the backs. Right into our cactus squeeze. All right, we're coming up. Left arm is going to tuck. So just rest the back of the hand right against the sacrum. Bend the knees, bend the knees. We're headed for our forward folding chair. We're just keeping that left arm bound. Let that right arm hang. Lift the head and shoulders. Give me that body parallel to the floor, taking that big stretch right through the pec, the delt, and the bicep. And now let's press through the feet, engage the core, unwind. Big reach open, big open arm circle. Tuck the back of those hands together. Right into our cactus squeeze. All right, we're going down. I lied. Lateral extension. Switch in sides. Engage that core. Control the body weight. Coming on up to come down. All right, we're going to tuck that right arm. If you've got a little bit more room, excuse me, to wrap it and rest it along the line of the waistband. Otherwise, keep that arm at the sacrum. Bend the knees, bend the knees. We're releasing for this forward folding chair. Okay, we're going to increase the energy here. Lift the body into our half lift. Tuck the chin, engage the core, tuck the tailbone just a little. Keep this left elbow rocked back. We're going to inhale, lengthen up, give me squish in the knees. And now we're going to stretch over that bind. Coming on up, let's slowly unwind. Woo! Big open arm circle. That is a lot of energy there. Releasing through. Rotate the backs of the hands together. Reach it on up. Cactus arm. Let's reach on up. Let's take our lateral extension. So we're just going lateral without that bind. Slowly engage up. Wiggle the knees. Give me that squish. All right, we're gonna come up. Now we're binding the left arm. So let's reach it down. Either keep it right on that sacrum or wrap it around and rest it parallel to the waistband. Scoop the belly, sit down. And let's take our forward folding chair. Lengthen through the back. Press through the feet. We're lifting up and heading to this one, I don't know even what I'm going to call it. It's a half lift. It's just, we've got a bind going on. All right, let's lengthen up. We're sticking with this bind, and I'm going to take the lateral extension toward that side. Sliding on up, unwind slowly, so slowly. Ooh. Let's take ourselves to a forward folding chair. Release on down. We're gonna drop into a crouch. So I'm just gonna roll to the balls of my feet, tuck my chin, and stay round in the back. All right, I'm going to carefully come to seated. I'm going to move my blanket, but I want you guys to keep it handy because we're going to use it we're going to work a little bit more with the shoulder energy. But let's slowly rock back into our supine position on our backs on the mat. So make sure you have room behind your head. We're just going to slowly come on back, give those knees a squeeze. Oh, wiggle the toes, roll the feet. All right, we're gonna work a little active bridge with this arm energy that we got going. So let's tuck those heels toward the glutes. Arms are gonna rest down at the sides, palms down. Now we're going to work this arm sweeping bridge. So there are two ways to approach that. If you're feeling a lot of energy, you can take a snow angel sweep in which you just slide those arms palms up and reach them out, keeping them far, open and away from the ears. And then you would slide those arms back in that same direction. If you've got the energy to move, you can also track those arms back through the air, fingers toward the ceiling in this vertical lift, right? And then you would engage and drop them down. But notice I'm keeping my arms wide and open. I'm not trying to squeeze them up against my ears, right, where I'm compressing my shoulders. I want to be open. I want to keep these shoulder blades up and against the mat. So you decide where your energy and your shoulders are. We're going to take 4 repetitions of a straight arm sweeping bridge. So let's inhale, let's exhale to prepare. And then we're going to take an inhale. We just press into the heels, scoop the belly, lift the tailbone. Take the fingers with it. Press those hips up. Keep the knees from floating out. Press the body weight up into the shoulder blades. Tuck the chin. As we exhale, we're going to slowly rock the spine down. We track the fingertips with it till the last thing to touch are the hands and the tailbone. Let's do 3 more of those. Inhale, engage and press. Tuck the chin. Lift the hips. This is a spinal stretch. And slowly, slowly, slowly roll down. 2 more repetitions. One more repetition. All right, we're going to take 3 repetitions. So let's take our press up, rotate those arms into that extension. Hold your fingertips where they're at. Now slowly roll the spine down. Now give me a stretch. Inhale and reach those arms long. Relax out of that stretch and then slowly let's track those fingertips back to our starting position. 2 more, exactly like that. Lengthen up, track the arms. Hold that extension with the fingertips. Slowly roll that spine down. Stretch those arms. Reach the shoulders up. Squeeze them up towards the ear. Big stretch here. Release that energy and now track those fingertips back to the starting position. 1 more time. Here we go. All right, we're going to rock completely over to one side, 90 degrees, like we were going to sleep on our sides. And this is where the blanket is going to come in handy. So I want you to rest that blanket underneath your head, between your head and your shoulder. I have my hip, knee to hip is 90 degrees, knee to toe is 90 degrees. I am completely on the left side of my body. My left hand is extended out, palm up. And I'm going to press my hands together, lining my fingers up. It might mean that you have to roll your shoulder forward a little. Let's take an inhale to prepare. We're going to exhale. So I want you to keep the ribs and the hips and the knees forward. Sweep the right arm through the air. We're just rotating that shoulder blade back. Let the head relax. It might follow it and try to drop the back of the hand toward the floor. As you inhale, let's slowly press that palm back and forward, touch the hands together. All right, nice exhale. Just the shoulders, just the shoulder blade. Keep the body forward. Rotate the hips and ribs forward. Reach that arm back. And 1 more time. And let's fire it up. All right, we're going to press these palms together. Now I want you to slide the top hand off the bottom hand as far as you can. We're just rotating through this stretch. Reach, 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 reach. And then release on back. All right, we're going to rotate through to the other side. So I'm just going to come to center and turn my body completely over. again, reach that right arm out at 90 degrees, palms up, left arm. My knees are 90 degrees away from my hips. My toes are 90 degrees from my knees. Press them together. Take an inhale to prepare. And let's exhale. Track that hand through the air. Keep the body rotated forward. Just the shoulder blade. Just the shoulder blade. Let the head relax. It might track with you. And inhale. Oh my goodness. Press forward. And again, exhale. We've got two. This is not a full body twist. It's really just about the upper lat, and obliques. One more repetition. And breathe forward. Okay, we're gonna slide that top hand off the bottom one. Reach out, reach out, reach out. And we're sliding back. Whew. All right, we're gonna roll to our back. Oh, go slow. That's a lot of upper body energy release. We're gonna take our knees up and give them a squeeze. Wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. Take a little sway side to side. Let's take the hands to the insides of the knees and press out. Let those legs hang. Take that easy stretch in the adductors. Roll the ankles, wiggle the toes. All right, let's draw those knees in again. Here's where you're going to take a scan of the body and check in with where do you need a little extra stretch? Where do you want to work? Maybe you want a little deeper hamstring, or we did a stretch, or we didn't do something that's your favorite. So let's just work ourselves down into a space where we can take Shavasana. So you decide what little stretch and wiggle you need. Be mindful of your body temperature. It's lovely and cool this morning. It's not going to last long, but one can hope. All right. Start to give yourself that wiggle. Think about your body placement. How are you going to be comfortable on the mat today? Maybe you want to fold a blanket under the neck or the low back and hips. Maybe you want to tuck one under the knees. And then let's slowly work ourselves into the position that's going to work, that you're going to take for final relaxation. So just get the little wiggles out. Just work through that placement that's going to allow you to take some relief and rest. Relax the breath, soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. And now let's draw our attention into the space across the line of the forehead. We want to release all of those tiny little muscles. And feel those tiny little muscles smooth out. We want to relax the jaw, unclench the teeth, let the tongue drop away from the roof of the mouth. Let's relax down through the strap muscles. Feeling that energy drain out from the tops of the shoulder caps. There might be a lot of response to the work we did today. Let's release that energy out, down through the biceps and triceps, through the space of the elbow, down through the forearms, wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, and just relax the upper body against the mat. Feel heavy through the shoulder blades. Let's travel from the base of the neck down through the rib cage and feel the length of the spine until we can take a little rock side to side with the hips and let the tailbone sink heavily toward the floor. Let's relax through the quads and the hamstrings. Feel soft through the space behind the knee. Maybe a little wiggle with the calves, a little roll and wiggle with the toes, and then let the legs and the lower body rest against the mat. We're going to pull our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. There might be some things trying to wake up, trying to push into our to-do list. Let's hold those things off to the side. A few more minutes for ourselves. And then rest that silence into the attention of the breath. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Let's draw some deeper breaths into the lungs, big filling inhales, big sighing exhales. You're gonna lengthen those arms out to the side. If your feet are on the mat, lengthen them out the end of the mat. Stretch those arms up over the head and take this big, long, getting out of bed, squeezing all the energy back into the body, stretch. And we're gonna slide those hands down toward the hips. I'm gonna bring a knee up and give it a squeeze. I'm gonna bring the other knee up and give it a squeeze. Taking an easy rock side to side. Let's just roll from one hip across the mid back and to the other. Until you're ready to rock completely over to one side, resting your head on your arm, just taking a moment to notice the support beneath you. And now I'm going to slowly raise myself up back into a comfortable seated position. Oh, little rock side to side. Roll those shoulders back. I'm going to take a lean in one direction, hooking my fingers over the top of my knee. I'm going to switch directions. And then let's settle our weight. Shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips. Just balancing out and feeling settled in the mat, scanning the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form on this end of the practice. Moving that attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. Let's check in. We can start moving some of those priority items back into our to-do list, but with some elbow room. No pushing, no shoving. And finally, just taking a notice of that breath. It is really what carries us through our day. It's our unsung hero, and we don't notice it until it is compromised, and then we miss it fierce. Releasing practice. I'm going to blink my eyes open. I do like to take this final stretch up toward the ceiling. If it is not going to feed you today or nurture you in any way, you don't have to join me. Nice big reach up. Letting all of that go, taking a moment to honor your body for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. Thank you so much for joining me online, keeping me safe, keeping you safe. My name is Julia. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at yoga@jclynn.com. Check out the website, THEFNEFFING yogablog.com. You can find the schedule there. We're making some transitions to make the store more accessible. Guys, thank you for supporting the fucking yoga company. I really, truly appreciate it. So, and I hope Monday treats you as well as Morning Energy Yoga did, because it treated me pretty darn good. Thank you so much and have a great day.